outside. Good morning, everyone. Warm welcome to my YouTube channel, Making It in Austria. Well, for this special occasion, and that's the 100th episode, some of you know that there was a big wish of mine to do hundreds of episodes, which long time ago, about 4 years ago, felt like, oh my God, how I'm going to do it. It's maybe it's too much, maybe it's too little, who knows. But here we are today. And Natalia Villanueva García, who was also one of my great guests some months ago. You can check out her episode with me on my YouTube channel. Had a wonderful idea some weeks ago that she gets to interview me for the 100th episode.
Yay!
Yay! So I'm super excited, as you can see, and I'm also a bit nervous. But it belongs to it. I would say it belongs to it. It's a special day, special occasion. We will try to do it. So we thought we will do the best way would be do it in 2 parts. So we do like the first part, the second part. The second part is I have to do some homework. And I'm super excited about it because Natalia had such a great idea, and she always has. So the first one is basically the first part about how it started, I suppose. I let Natalia lead the way and ask any questions she has and do it in your fashion, Nata.
Thank you, Adela. Thank you so much for letting me interview you. It's a great honor for me. And yeah, I thought number 100 is a very special number also because it was initially your thought of, okay, at least 100, or I would like to get to 100.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think it's a great moment. So all others get to know you a little better.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have become friends with many of the people you have interviewed.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the beauties of what you have done, this side effect of having friendships and strong connections with many others. But maybe some others don't know so much.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this interview is it's an opportunity for those, maybe as you said, this part one, that to get a general insight in your heart and in your life. And let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
So I will start with the very simple question, which is, how are you today?
Well, I'm good. I'm good. A little bit tired, as you can see. I try to put my wrinkles down. And as some of you know, so it's just a funny, like, it's a nice thing. It's a beautiful thing. Connection between now and there, because I was pregnant back then with our first daughter when I started the first episode. And then I was on a maternity before the maternity leave, so I was like doing quite a few episodes because I knew there will be a break in between.
Mhm.
Um, so and now I'm pregnant again.
Yes, I just wanted to say that.
We are doing, so
It's a great symmetry.
yes, you see, we are coming to the 100th episode. In between, there was like millions of things. And I'm not exaggerating. I really, in a most beautiful and profound way. Um, and as you know, so she's turning 4, so there's a lot of things, and I'm being pregnant with the due date end of April. So there's a lot of, emotional ups and downs, physical as well, mental. So there's a lot of things. So that's one of the reasons I say there's a lot of happening in my head, in my heart.
Yes.
Uh, but I'm very sure that I love to be where I am. So that's one of the things that I would like to say. So I just as with many things in my life and also with the Making It in Austria. So when I have started it, it was this wish to bring people together to share their stories, to get out and just, show all the beauties and diversity and everything that we have around us. And I
Yes.
didn't know where it's going to lead. So it's like I could not. So like I didn't have the so-called 5-year or 3-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
I am not that kind of person in many things. So business-wise is a different story, like professionally. So in my day-to-day corporate business, of course, in the things that I do aside, so this is a side project for me, out of love, out of joy, out of necessity, where I saw, okay, there are so many people like yourself and other people that I have interviewed that achieve so much here, but if we don't see them, we don't hear them on a large
Mm-hmm.
scale,
Yeah.
especially people who are not here, because people in Vienna know you, right? But so
Yes.
now people around the world know you as well. So if we publish it on LinkedIn, if we publish it on Instagram, so people anywhere where they are, so they can hear you, see you, connect with you, get inspired. So that was this inspiration that I wanted to offer on a large scale, as well, to bring people in Vienna together, that they are there, everybody's doing their great things, but they don't see each other. And
Yes.
so I'm good, healthy, happy, bit tired, but that comes with the long January, with the long winter, with with pregnancy, with thousands of things in between. But very happy, very grateful for everything that has come to my life and where I am at the moment. And also, curious about what is next, because there's a lot of things that I would like to achieve and do. But, with the family, with life, and
Yes.
some things have to wait some other time and will be done differently and this and that. So I'm learning along the way.
That is really, really, really beautiful. Thank you for sharing a little bit of a introduction of how Making It in Austria was born and why. We will deepen a little bit in the following minutes. I would like to also maybe share with your network, where do you come from, where, but not only like geographically, also
Mhm.
culturally, and maybe um, we all have an old self.
Yeah.
What is that old self? Where do you come from that made you be here?
Yeah.
It's a big question. You can answer from the perspective you prefer.
That's a very good question. And every now and then, when I see our daughter, I see some pieces, parts of me when I was a kid, what I can remember, of course. Um, and from what I remember of myself, I'm a middle child, so I have two older brothers and I have younger sister and a brother. So it's five of us. And in my parents, so especially my father and my mother, bless her soul, so they're very social. So they are very always lively around our home. So where I come
Mhm.
from, you don't make appointments, you come. And it's not and
Nice.
and it's a bit changing nowadays, everywhere with digitalization, things are changing. People are more online and less
Yeah.
meeting and so on. But where I come from, you don't make an appointment, just come, and starting from early in the morning, like, and it can be 7 o'clock, and also late in the night. So it's a very lively environment that I grew up, let's say. And I was making this I was thinking about that. So the way our house is built, so it's in the crossroads. So it's like our house is here, and then you have roads that take you up there, down to the another village, to
So it's
another
like the
city. So
intersection.
exactly. So it's really hard to not see it, not notice, not come around. So and late years ago, so I turned 38 now, so there was no Google Maps and things like that. So you basically, when you come to, and there are like so many small places around me, so it's not like millions of people that it's hundreds of here, and then there's this surname here, then everybody's with that surname here in this village, and then there's the next village, and there's the next one, and then there's a city, the small one, the large one. So you had to, knock the doors, right? So you come around and you ask. So look, I came here because I'm looking for this person, and maybe where's this person, and so on. So that kind
For
of
those who don't know, which country is that?
Bosnia-Herzegovina. So I come from a very, very small village, so from the northern western part of Bosnia-Herzegovina, close to Croatia. So that's easy for people to orientate, close to Bihać, the wonderful Una, the river Una, and a bit far away from Sarajevo, the capital city, where I've studied, where I has a special meaning to me because my husband and I met there. We got married in Sarajevo, but the first 18 years, so I was living in that part of that region of Bosnia and Herzegovina, very small, very known in our community. So people where I come from are called, so it's Krajina. So the area is called Krajina. And we Krajišnici are known as to be very honest.
Okay.
Also ambitious, but very so and very very generous. So so when we have guests, so we bring everything out for them. So it's a generosity.
Okay.
So you welcome guests. That's not unusual. So it's normal.
And guests also come without appointment.
Yes, and they
Okay.
bring someone, and there's people that I told you, like they're going from one side to the other, so they're looking for someone. They stop by next to your home, and then you offer a coffee, or you offer, usually a coffee. We drink a lot of coffee, or
Very
something to
nice.
eat, depending where you are. And so you come into talking, you come into interaction. So it's a very open. So and that I believe.
Were you interested in other people's stories back then too?
I not in this, I don't know about this way because it's a very small and so it's a lot of family around me. So I do remember a lot of stories that have been shared with me. So it was a little bit passing down. So from the aunts, from my grandmothers. So I do remember those stories. I do remember stories of where they shared, how they lived passed by. So it's a very turbulent and not so nice history, very, very hard one. So where you lived from your land and what you could get from your field. And there was like also ages where there was not much enough food for everyone. So I was grown up with, and many children. So, my grandmother had 9 children, and so it's a big family. So I do, I have many aunts and uncles, and they have many kids as well. And, and we have a very rich history in a way that we would transition from one way of living to the other. So we remember Yugoslavia. So we remember the times where my uncles were living in Germany or Slovenia. So they would bring candies and chocolates and all kind of things, and us living here, living in Bosnia, because my father always said he didn't want to live anywhere. So he even during the war, we were moving from one place to the other, but we always wanted to come back to our home. So he was never interested into leaving Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Okay.
So it's a bit lively. It's a very lively, and I believe that has shaped me. So this way where I was living, the way my parents were open, because they are still, and it's the same. I said to my husband, and he comes from the very similar, so from the same area, about 10, 15 minutes drive. So it's very close, but he grew up a bit differently. So in a smaller an environment, let's say. So he and his brother, your mom and dad, so a few guests compared to ours, where we were celebrating everything and everybody coming to our place. So it's a bit different, and I see those differences also in our lives now.
Yes. Yeah, that's when you realize, when you married, have children, it's like, oh, now I know the differences.
But it's all for me, as a person, I learned thanks to you, working with many other, and allowing myself, especially since I became a mom, to realize, okay, where do I come from? So what has shaped me? Why am I as the way I am? And why
Yes.
is, for instance, my husband the way he is? So,
Yes.
and that if you allow yourself really to go through that path,
Hmm.
then you can understand yourself. So why am I doing this as that? And why
Yes.
is maybe my husband doing this like that? And why is
Mm.
our daughter this way? And so you allow yourself not to, you read books, you educate yourself, but you allow yourself to go back and understand why the things are the way they are. And then you understand better your parents because you
Yes.
understand their parents and the way they grew up and what has shaped them. And so you then from my point of view, that brings it's a very turbulent. It's not easy to go through that because there's
Hmm.
also a lot of pain. There's also a lot of
It's sometimes scary.
trauma. It's scary. You need
Yes.
someone to guide you through it, like
Yes.
yourself or other people that can went through that and they can bring you
Yes.
back and bring you back again to this where you are at this point of time.
Yes.
So if you can, so that's also very, very important. So I that to do that for yourself, really to go back to trace where
Hmm.
you come from and really to allow yourself, to be proud of certain moments, to
Hmm.
go back to that. So I thought many years that, I'm done with Bosnia. When I came to Austria, so that's where we're coming now. I was like, I was so angry at Bosnia in general. So like, I was top student and I was like really doing my
Hmm.
best.
Well,
And
that's perfect because my next question is why are you in Vienna? So
and you
you
see,
totally get exactly.
and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anything with Bosnia because I was doing all my best there, the best, the top grades, the listening to everyone, to professors, to advisors, to this and that, following, the path that is laid. Um, and then, I was like, I just leave Bosnia aside, and where I come from. So it was somehow painful for me as well, because,
Mhm.
I had a lot of, I lost my mom early age. We had this terrible war behind us. Coming to nothing, starting, when the war was over, we came back to our house that was just like the outside walls, and that's it. And I say I don't have any toys as a kid left because I don't have them. They don't exist, and that's through my life later on. I was like buying a lot of toys, different toys, and I had them even before I having the kids. And then some people were like, why do you have toys? I was like, because it's for me.
Mhm.
Now is the time where I can have them. So I had them
Yes,
and I kept them, and now Esma has them, and so on. Other kids could play with it and
that's
so on.
very beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, so where I come from, and I was like, yes, I gave everything to this Bosnia, and then I felt like, okay, but then first job that I had, and second job, and all the struggles that I had to find any job was really, really, really high. And that's where and when I came to Austria as well, we left the jobs that we had in Bosnia, my husband and I. He's a structural engineer.
Whose idea was your husband or yours?
He always had the idea. So he's a few years older than I am, and he always had this wish to go a little bit out, you know.
Okay.
But then during the studies, so I had a great scholarship from the Netherlands, and I was thinking about it, but I didn't felt ready for it. It was not the time for me yet. And then he, graduated, found a job, had a really great opportunity back then, did some great projects, and then we kind of put it aside, right? So while I
Mhm.
was studying, and when I graduated with, I was looking for the first job and then the second job, and then something broke inside of me. I was really,
Mhm.
really, um, I felt like this is not it. This cannot be
Mhm.
something that, it's not the perfectionist that I am, but it's like the growth, the need to go out, the need to go out and see other worlds and other ways and other people and other things,
Mhm.
and feel them, and go travel and just be an ordinary like say person,
Mhm.
that has graduated, because once you have this experience in your life with, being because Bosnia after the war was kind of isolated, right? So you could not leave without a visa. You could not go, like, it was not easy to just, I could not just pack my stuff and let's say some point of time I go to Germany for a month and I go by train and I travel from a city to city. You need a visa. You need someone to invite you. You need this and that and all kind of things. And later on was easier, and nowadays it's a much easier to come as a tourist. It's a different story. But back then you felt this like you're closed and you're different. You other have something and you would like to experience because it's natural, it's normal, it's human that you want to go and see. Okay, how does
learn new things.
Yes, it's in you, so it comes in you. And then, as I said, that's one of the second job. So I like some of my ideologies and idealist being as I am often, broke down, and I felt like, okay, this is, me going to work 9 to 5, giving my best, getting a little bit in return, like the salary to meet my needs. But where am I? I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel, as I'm growing, I feel like stuck. And that's where we started thinking about it. That's where I basically quit my job, and we applied to the university here, the technical university, even though we had master's degrees that were recognized here, but we needed a way to enter the country, and that was the being a student. So we applied again at being a student. We hope to get the opportunity to get these German classes, access through the studies, which my husband got at the end of the day, and I didn't, because master studies on my end were in English.
Okay.
The exception of, so everybody, all the other masters in German, but mine in English. So
everybody's looking for an English one, and you got the great.
So I was like, I need the German, so I did the Deutsche Akademie course. And when I came here, so it was for me a way to write really a new chapter in my life.
Okay. Were you excited coming or a bit skeptical?
I think it was the fact that we had about 6 months money for it, and we said, we're gonna give it a try. So we didn't give any promises. Let's say it's like someone is waiting for us, and then we have
like let's try.
Exactly. So it was a lot of explorative, but also a wish to succeed.
Okay.
So there was
make it.
I want it. Yes, I want it. I want to make it. I want to try it. I want to, you want to show yourself you can do it. And then, of course, when you come to Vienna, it's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful, it's like.
And why Vienna? Did you consider other countries?
Yes, we consider other countries and even continents and scholarships, but we said we want to be close to our family.
Okay.
And then, Austria, Vienna, it's relatively about 7 hours drive to our families. So we said if they need us, we can easily go to them. We can reach out to them. And we said, if we're going to do this like this, on our own, and saving and doing and preparing, then let's pick the city we love, we like, and let's not go to some other places, but let's pick about because of this. And a year ago, before maybe it was 2012 or 2011, we were a few days for holidays from Sarajevo. We came here, and we liked it a lot. So we saw the city. We were, walking around. Just, we met with one of our friends. He showed us a little bit. So we felt good here.
Okay. You felt like, we could do this.
Yes, we could do this.
Feel good here.
Yeah, and we heard from other students as well, like that, because Vienna and Graz are very well known in Bosnia, so and other Balkan countries, and we said, okay, well, let's go to the capital because we believe we have better chances. So for the job to find more opportunities, even with English, we thought, okay, we could. We will learn language in parallel and we will look for the job. But we thought in the capital city, in Vienna, we could, even find a job at first with English. So let's go to the capital, because there's this, we know it from Bosnia and Herzegovina, so more opportunities were given back then to Sarajevo, to the
Okay.
capital. Then, for instance, in my hometown, which is because of the nature of its geography and the market itself, it's smaller, way smaller than if you go to the capital. Hey, Nata, you're back.
Yes, I'm back.
Good.
Okay. So you were telling me that you felt really
felt
well.
good.
You
Yes.
visited Vienna
Yes.
and
Yes.
learning the language.
Yes. Yes.
Really, and why do you love Vienna now?
Why do I love Vienna now? Because of all the green. Because it's very green. As a
Because
mom,
we know there's
as a
many
mom, I
challenges
appreciate.
living in Vienna.
But
But let's focus on the things you love.
I really love Vienna because it's easy to go around. It's you feel like it's just around the corner. Everything feels like around the corner. So if I want to meet with you, I can do it within 20 minutes, half an hour. So you see, the proximity plays a big role in my life. You see, I'm always like, where's Vienna? Where's hometown? Where's this and that? I just discovered this. But it's everything you want is available to you.
Yes.
You don't have.
I like that. That's also why I love Vienna.
Exactly. So you want to go to the
available.
airport, it's like 20 minutes and you have flights to go anywhere in the world, right? So it's safe, it's clean, it's affordable. How, it's different now than 10 years ago, but still compared to the large cities, capitals. And I have friends now here, also Austrians and from around the world as well.
Like me, an example.
Colombia.
Really around the world.
So and my husband feels, good here. So he has, he found his way around. So with his jobs and, found some friends here. So we
nice
feel it's like really, and my daughter has, going to the kindergarten here around the corner, and she has also some friends here as well. So she's making her first friendships, and it's really hard not to love Vienna. It's really, so when you start thinking about, it's because, as I say, so of course, there are like maybe more colorful cities. I don't know, maybe we have beige and everywhere you look, all the buildings are maybe beige and light blue, and you go, maybe if I think about Colombia, it's very colorful, and they have like
but
really
I was also thinking it's not only like the best city or the best whatever, it's like what fits me.
Yeah. And for
in my case, Vienna fits me.
You see?
It's so me. And this is why I love it. And
it's like it's really you feel it's your own. It's like you feel like it's part of you. So you stop thinking. You see, now when we're talking about it, it's hard to find five things because they are so now part of us. We belong together, so that you need to think, okay, yes, because we have incorporated so many things. And
how long have you been in Vienna?
Now it's 11 years. It's 11 full years. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So nice to hear that from 11 years ago, where you thought, I don't know if this will work out. Let's check. 11 years later, you're saying that you love the place where you are. That's the biggest making it than that I can recognize. More than the job or the whatever, the other wonderful things that are really amazing that we have them. But saying you love the place where you are, and the question I started, how are you? And this all connects, like I feel really good where I am.
Yes.
So this is very special. And just to end the first part of this 100 episode of Making It in Austria, getting to know the wonderful Adela that has connected us. And through you, I have also met so many amazing people. And I am really thankful for that. And I'm sure everybody who's listening is also really thankful for that. I really want to know, what do you know now that you didn't know before doing hundreds, or let's correct, 99 episodes?
Oh, there are many things, many things. So when I think about myself, for instance, from a personal level, on a personal level, so I feel much better now than 4 years ago. I was in a very different place. Maybe it was more on a logical, rational level, more also ego-driven level. So I want to do this, because you're going from one step to the next step and step, like you from in the career. So you get the education, you meet the people, you feel like, okay, it was from the place where I know myself 4 years ago is a very rational. And over the last years, I allowed myself not to be, because I was kind of protecting myself in a way that I was very rational. So I was appealing to other people also in a rational way, right?
Okay.
And now I am
So
in a
your
very,
interview style has changed.
yes, my
I
interview style
understood
has changed a
correctly.
lot, completely, in a way that
And
I feel much
also through the
more
pandemic, because
through the
this 4 years,
pandemic,
if we
exactly.
say 2025 minus 4 years, is the middle of the pandemic.
Yes. When everybody was stuck in the front of their computer.
Yes.
Exactly.
They
So it
needed
was a
to.
very rational. Where I was coming from, coming to people was a very rational. Now it's a more, it's a way softer. It's a way, because I became softer, nicer, and towards myself. So I approach people in a very different way.
Okay.
And I appreciate other things as well. So if people usually ask me, like, do I have to be head of department or director of the department to be your guest? And I said no, because I look about person, and you will see people having, I don't know, head of department, but they are doing 3 other side projects for the community, and I want to know about those projects. Of course, we highlight their work and the companies that they work at, and all nice, but I'm more about person nowadays. It's really about trying to get out the best, because it's inside, and some people are more communicative, some other need more time, some other in front of the camera. So I'm now
Yes.
about the full, as you said, the full picture.
Like a
I want to know
holistic picture
exactly.
of
So
a
now I want to
story.
know the person,
Yes.
what is this person, and what is this person, trying to
Okay.
achieve in this world?
And
What's
then what do you know now about people you didn't know before? Because it's different. I have never made 100 interviews. So,
uh,
but I'm sure there's so much new knowledge or experiences that you have the privilege
exactly.
to have that
Yes,
other
and
people won't have.
it, one of the things that I usually tell to myself and other people, it's about networking, and it's not about the title. So don't get obsessed by the title. I have approached people. I thought like Selma Prodanovic, maybe, she would never be interested into that, to be my guest. She's, business Angelina. Why would she care about my small little podcast around the side, But she did, because I appealed to her in a different way. Right? So I didn't talk about my followers and all these kind of things. So I appreciate her work because I appreciate it. So I got to know her work. I was joining some of her classes. I was going to some of her engagements. So I was appreciating, and I was telling to her what I appreciate about it. And this is very important. So no matter who you talk to, so that's like one of the, we can close with that, is a thing that we all have these best, beautiful profiles on LinkedIn or on other, networks, and we appear as a keynote speakers, and we travel the world, and we go to the conferences, we get invited. But bottom down, you're a person. You want to have your needs, emotional needs as well, soul needs met,
And
not
also
just
you want to
physical.
connect in a meaningful way.
Exactly. So you really,
Yes.
when you find a person that you really want to talk to, so that's like for people who are starting. So if you have some, like 5 people that you really, really admire for some reasons, and you want to approach to them, but you think, oh my God, they will never talk to me because who am I? So they don't know, they have tens of thousands of people on contacts, and they go around the world, and they're so, so important. but there is something, there is a reason why do you want to connect with this person. You need to be
Yes.
honest to yourself, not just the logical, not just my ego, not just for myself, not just for the picture on LinkedIn so that I get like hundreds of impressions and then everybody thinks I'm so great and so on. So coming from the purpose of serving, serving. So what is that you're doing? What is that you're giving? It opens all the doors for you, really. With most of the people, of course, you have some, exceptions. Of course, sometimes timelines don't work, and people tell you in 6 months, my schedule is more open, like yours. Now your schedule is a little bit open. A few months ago, you were doing amazing things for your career. So, like, it's important to recognize that. So that's one of the things I said to, find what brings you. Why do you want to connect with this person?
Yes.
Why do you want
And
to
this you
Yeah.
is something you know now that you didn't know
Yes.
before
Yes.
99 interviews.
Yes. 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 This
Okay.
is very, very important. This is what I want to give to the audience. Great to be impressed by the CVs, great to be impressed by achievements. If you want to connect to anyone, any CEO or any person within the community, but you're so scared and you think like, okay, they will never answer to my LinkedIn messages or whatever messages. Think about deep down, why do you really want to connect? So be honest, be really truthful to what you want to, why is it that you want?
And I also learned you want to connect with different topics and different things in different moments.
Yeah, many things. So I was like, when I became
Yes.
a mom, I was more into topics of, mompreneurs,
Yes.
topics about, balance between work and a family, topics of, women having corporate careers, then starting their own businesses. Where are they? What do they do? How do they do? And, you know, at some point I was interested in financial topics, investing my money. So I was inviting people that talk about that and people publishing their books and whatnot. So there's like the very, very variety because, it's the journey that I go through.
We need to slowly come to an end.
Yes.
But this has been really exciting. I'm sure we need the second part because we just started.
Thank you.
And it's great that you have now this knowledge gift, like a present from what you did yourself. And not only for you, you are now able to share with hundreds and hundreds. So if it's okay, we will